everyone see that? Let's go into presentation mode. There we go. All right, so welcome to our Delray Chamber Tourism Roundtable. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Happy New Year for all of you. It's so nice to see each and every one of you. It's been quite a year. If you guys can go ahead and everyone mute, that would be great, just so we don't have any background noise. Thank you. Please feel free to use the chat. We will have Q&A at the end, or as our presenters are presenting, if you have a question for them, please either raise your hand or put it in the chat. We're always happy to take Q&A from all of you. I wanted to say thank you so much to our 2021 Tourism Roundtable sponsor for the year. We have Tariq Salehi on the call from Hotels at Sea, so we're going to hear a little bit from him in a bit. And then also thank you to our partners at Discover the Palm Beaches, FAU, Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, and from the city of Delray Beach. So we're really looking forward to hearing all of you. And thank you guys for presenting to our membership today. We're really excited to hear from you and hear an update on tourism. Just a few chamber announcements that I wanted to start with. The Leadership Delray class is open. I know I see a few familiar names on the call that are part of our Leadership 2021 class, yay, and some that have participated in years past. So Leadership Delray is a really great opportunity for you to get to know the ins and outs of the city of Delray Beach. It is facilitated by your Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce. It spans 10 months. And each month we have a meeting and we meet, we go through the different departments of the city and get a hands-on feel. And you really learn about the ins and outs, like I said, of the city of Delray. It's a great opportunity. I did it when I first came to town about 8 years ago, and it was one of the most amazing experiences. We always have different participants from the different departments also within the city. So it's always fun to see where your classmates grow within their career. So one of the gentlemen I was close with was in the police department, and he has now just recently been promoted to assistant chief. So it's been really great to see him grow over the last 8 years in the city. So if you have questions about it, it's going to kick off February 10th. You can go to delraybeach.com/events to register, or you can just send me a note and I'm happy to chat with you more about Leadership Delray. Just a reminder, Delray Morning Live is our weekly Facebook live show on Wednesday mornings, hosted by Amanda Perna and Ryan Boylston. It's every Wednesday at 8:30. So if you'd like to be a guest, please just reach out to me, either myself, or you can send us a note to our generic email, chamber@delraybeach.com. It's a great opportunity to tell your story to both our members and the community. And then we have our brand new board, our installation lunch, and our Leadership Delray class of 2020 graduation. That'll be taking place this Thursday at 11:45 via Zoom. And we're really excited to partner with National Leadership Institute. Jerry Zarnecki will be presenting. He's known all across the country for his speaking, so we're really excited to have him as our keynote. So if you'd like to tune in with us, please join us on Thursday, January 14th at 11:45. And then just a reminder, we do have our Tuesday webinar series at 12:30. So next week, we'll be chatting about how you all can maximize your Delray Chamber membership. So that'll be presented by Stephanie, our president and CEO, and the rest of our staff. So that's next Tuesday, January 19th at 12:30. Just a nice refresher on your Delray Chamber and how you can get the most out of your membership this year. So start off the year right and tune in with us. And if you can't tune in, we do always post our webinars on the website on delraybeach.com/webinars. So if you can't tune in with us, or you're like, oh, I forgot to ask them that question, it'll all be posted on our website. At the end of the month, we're really excited to announce that we'll be having an annual membership meeting, the Economic Outlook for 2021 on Tuesday, January 26th at 9 a.m. And we'll be partnering with the Florida Chamber of Commerce, State Representative Mike Caruso, and Kelly Smallridge from the Business Development Board. So please join us 9 a.m. Tuesday, January 26th for Economic Outlook 2021. And that same afternoon, we will be hosting a webinar with Clearly Derm. And they'll be giving away a free facial and then also some dermatology, I think dye sport at Clearly Derm Delray. So if you register for the webinar, you have the opportunity to win a free facial. So very exciting stuff. And they'll be talking all about common dermatology conditions during the pandemic. And then we're really excited. Stephanie and our old offices in the back, we have a house membership. So it'll be a workspace in the back. We do have some desks in the back. If you've just joined us, please go ahead and mute.
Thank you, Jackie.
So if you'd like more information on that, please reach out to our membership director, Carolina, or myself. We're always here to answer any questions, but that will be rolling out within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're super excited. We have this space. It looks amazing. So please come work with us here at the Chamber. And then launching in March, much like our tourism roundtables, we are restarting a healthcare council, healthcare roundtable in partnership with Inspired Living. So if you have any interest in joining our healthcare roundtable, send me a note and I'll get you added to that list. They are hoping to meet at Inspired Living for their first meeting. So details will roll out on that shortly as we continue on. So again, thank you to our sponsors, Hotels at Sea, Discover the Palm Beaches, FAU Hospitality and Tourism Management, Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, and the City of Delray Beach. I am going to turn this over to Tarek Salehi from Hotels at Sea, and we are going to learn a little bit more about them. So thank you guys all for joining us. And if you joined us during my announcements, this call is recorded, so it will be posted at the end. So Tarek, let me go ahead and pull up your presentation and share my screen.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show and with you guys this morning. I'm proud to be a sponsor of the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce for their Tourism Roundtable. Many of you are probably wondering, when is the cruise industry going to get started? You know, as one of the largest.
So Christina was saying she might not move.
Now what?
She said someone might have.
Okay, maybe that wasn't. Are wondering probably when the cruise ship's going to get back into operations. As one of the larger consulting companies in the world for the cruise line industry, you know, what's true today is not going to be true tomorrow. But as of right now, our hard stop date for the public, for consumers, meaning those that are paying for passage on ships, is starting May 1 for operations outside within U.S. waters. Many cruise lines have already started operating outside of the United States, but for us, it's, as of right now, it's going to be May 1st, with some small exceptions for smaller ships that are sailing in Caribbean waters and other areas that are below 250 passengers. And feel free to ask any questions at the end or email me. My information's on this presentation as we go forward. And again, proud to be a sponsor. So, all right, who we are. That's my wife at the top, Dr. Lisa Spoden. She and I are the owners of Hotels at Sea, and we founded this company approximately 10 years ago. What do? We consult to the cruise line industry, both domestic and international. We work with the governments and the Ministry of Tourism at every country where our cruise ships dock or where we overnight. And what that means is when we overnight, we usually do custom programs. We curate programs specific to tourism initiatives, whether they be a food and wine or Epicurean program in that country, or we're doing a lot of polo now to attract and sell to the luxury market where the larger revenue is. We do that through a full-time polo team we operate. The IPT is the United States Polo Team. We have a health, security, and threat division with retired FBI and U.S. Coast Guard consultants that work for us. We have technology in our company. We developed the world's first true salt-proof monitor TV. It's used both in the military and also governments and restaurants, hospitality, and now on cruise ships. We also are fun. We have a winery where we buy grapes, both domestically and internationally, and we make wine, and you'll see that in a second for different programs we do with different tourism initiatives worldwide. Hotels at Sea also does a lot of chartering. So we don't go into areas where there are plenty of hotels, because we don't go to try to hurt the hotel industry. Instead, we augment and we support the hotel industry. In fact, working closely with them for any large-scale events where there's a lack of room. So from the Super Bowl to the Olympics, we are very involved in full ship charters with multiple ships at all these programs. And we also do an individual sales division where we focus on the luxury suite side, and that's one-on-one, and including any individual that's interested in cruising, whether repeat or new customer. So what do we do? Some of the fun things we do, we work with all our tourism partners and our government relation partners at the highest level. On the left, you'll see Her Royal Highness Princess Miari from Dubai, heavily involved in tourism in UAE and a great partner with us. And when we overnight our ships and refuel in Dubai, we put on events for the cruise ship passengers. So in this case, this was Royal Caribbean. We unloaded Mariner of the Seas for 2,500 passengers, and we put on a special pole match with Royal Highness, and we did some special events there. On the right, we were doing a program with Prince Charles and Prince Harry, Prince William, to promote the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom in our tourism initiatives. And these are the type of unique things that we do at Hotels at Sea. It happens to be really our specialty, and of course, bringing in Polo brings in food, wine, and the luxury market where there's high revenue in tourism. One of the things Hotels at Sea does, we work closely with short excursions in all markets, both domestically and internationally. And these are things that we want to promote on what's unique, what's different, some of the experiences that you normally can't find or buy. And one of these things I'm going to tell you at the very end that we're pre-announcing, but something that's going to be involved with Delray Beach, we hope. But we are experts in creating these and curating really these experiences that generate tourism dollars, both the community, both locally, regionally, and also for those international partners and visitors that come see us. This is our technology that we do. This is behind my wife and I there. This is one of our Sea-Lock units. And this is the Soul-Proof TV. This is on the Celebrity Edge and ship currently that we install these units on. So you can find these throughout these new ships on Celebrity and other cruise lines in the future. But this is a brand new technology that we've just developed. And again, it's now available for restaurants and hotels as well. These are two examples of our wine. I'm proud to say our winery has been rated top 10 in the world by the Wine Enthusiast magazine. And we will buy grapes from our vineyard partners, whether it's in Chile, Argentina, or the United States or Australia, depending where our ships are. And we will customize in the accommodations world. And those are two nice examples. The one on the left is Celebrity Cruises, showcasing both Celebrity Edge and Apex, which Time Magazine rated for the first time ever in the history of hospitality that a cruise ship was rated one of the top 10 destinations in the world. And that was last year, 2019. And on the right is the Oasis class ship. That wine label was done from our winery for the President's Cruises, including the 50th anniversary that the parent company of Celebrity, Royal Caribbean Group, just celebrated, and we were proud to produce that wine for them as well. So we do a lot of unique, fun, different things here at Hotels at Sea. On our security and health side, we have Greg Schaefer, former FBI director of Western Europe and head of Dallas, Texas, and commanded HRT, and also was a Coast Guard officer. So he's our military safety threat director for Hotels at Sea, and proud to have him on board as one of the leading experts in the world in health and safety. What's unique about Hotels at Sea? We're not really just a travel agency. We can call ourselves a travel agency. We're really a travel partner. We sell these suite experiences as well that I mentioned at the very beginning at the end. And we do this worldwide, and we offer VIP perks that no one else can do, from the best pricing. And the VIP perks are like ticketing to polo matches or concerts that we've done, and pictured up there on the right is for the Beach Boys. We held a private concert on one of our cruises with the Beach Boys and our guests here, and we hosted about 250 guests up in our suite. And that was on the Oasis class. And you're wondering, well, how do you host 250 people in a suite? There are actually suites on board ships where you can combine multiple suites, and you can combine the balconies, and you can host 200 to 300 guests very easily, especially in the Oasis class. That's a great example there. Hotel C is proud to be the IPT United States Polo Team. The polo team plays both domestically and worldwide, and our mission is to sell cruises and create partnerships between the governments outside of the United States and to the United States, and creating these relationships and increasing revenues for all tourism partners. So, we're proud to say when we go, for example, we'll be in Galapagos Islands in May, the last week of May during the World Cup, and promoting that cruising is returned to the Galapagos Islands. And in this case, we're going to be working with, again, the Royal Caribbean Group, specifically Celebrity. And in the World Cups, we work with the Ministry of Tourism, and we promote the tourism is back, and it helps both partners, both the U.S. Passenger or the folks coming from the United States and those abroad, and also, of course, that country that desperately relies on us in the cruise ship industry for their income and continued economic impact and growth with our initiatives. And we do this worldwide. Everyone's always a winner. We had record-breaking sales, believe it or not, even during a COVID time. And again, we're focusing on the luxury side, on the higher end market for the suites, but not only did we sell the largest number of suites that we have ever have this past season through our programs with Hotels at Sea and specifically Polo, we also won 2 national championships and 2 World Cups, which helps all our partners that are involved with Hotels at Sea and with the United States Polo Team. So everybody wins and everyone gets increased revenues. What's next? Well, we are going to be proposing for the first time for Delray Beach, a beach and polo and twilight dining here in 2022. We're going to be proposing January through April an initiative where we support both the local tourism, state tourism. We're going to be talking to our state partners and our local partners a little bit more about that. We did give a little sneak peek to Stephanie and Carol and Tiffany about this, but we're going to be moving forward on this, not only with the hotel partners in Delray or Palm Beach County or really the entire state of Florida, but also offering pre and post stays with our cruise ship program. So if somebody's coming to go on a cruise, whether it's a 3-day, 5-day, 1 week, they can do a 2-day pre or 2-day post, and we're going to include polo on the beach. And then we're going to operate it at twilight so that people can go hit the restaurants, hit the bars, and spend some more money here in Delray Beach. So we're really excited about this new program that we've been working on behind the scenes, and it's going to help everybody make more money and have fun and create something unique. And for the first time ever in Delray Beach, and certainly will be a newsworthy story that we imagine will go worldwide. So thanks for listening to your sponsor partner today. If we can ever help you, whether it's a suites or work with us as a part of your venues or anything you're involved in, we really look forward to working with you, because we do this, both regionally throughout the state of Florida with our programs, marketing and sales programs, and we do it nationwide as well, and we do it worldwide. So, we're all here to help put Delray Beach. I mean, you're already on the map. That's why we moved here, and we're proud to be not only a business partner here in the community, but really proud to be your neighbor, and just love everyone we've met here, and we're just totally in love with Delray and in our community here. So thanks, everyone. Proud to be your sponsor for 2021.
Thank you so much, Torres. Does anybody have any questions about Hotels at Sea or anything that he touched on? I'm really looking forward to polo on the beach in 2022 and cruising.
That's right. We're already start cruising.
If you have any questions, again, we'll put Tarek's information in the chat and you guys can connect afterwards if you did have any questions. So again, thank you so much to Hotels at Sea for being our partner for our tourism roundtables. Question from Peter, what do you think will be the biggest challenges getting cruise passengers back?
Yeah, great question. You know, there's several really real answers to that. One is consistency. Number two is concern about safety on the ships. And, you know, I'm here to tell you, and it will be tough to hear, but cruise ships are the safest place to be. They really are. We got hit hard because of a cruise ship over in Japan. I won't say the name. I can't say the name, but the media just beat us up on that, and we were just a target. And unfortunately, it was just misinformation about the disease, because back then nobody knew about COVID, you know, how it was being spread. So we've got to re-educate everyone, and most importantly, we have to reassure them that cruise ships are indeed the safest place to be for travel and tourism. We're not trying to denigrate the hotel industry at all. On the contrary, they're our best partners. And we hope we're their best partners too. But we have installed CDC labs on every ship, and those ships that don't have it yet are being installed as we speak. This is unheard of for this to happen, for these types of labs. Hotels aren't being required to do that, but yes, cruise ships are being required to do that, and that's happening. And we are going to provide the safest environment possible for whether it's a business conference or whether it's just getting away for the family. But those are just two pieces of the puzzle. You know, I could go on and talk about this, but I don't want to, you know, eat up all the time. But, you know, we need to reassure everyone that we are indeed one of the safest places to be traveling with your family or loved ones or your business colleagues.
Thank you. Yes, and Peter said thank you as well. So thank you, Tarek, and thank you, Hotels at Sea. Again, we look forward to hearing and catching up with you at our next roundtable. And again, thank you for sponsoring today's roundtable. With that, I would like to turn it over to Sergio Piedra from Discover the Palm Beaches. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for his presentation. There we go. Sergio, you good?
I am.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute my. Give me 1 second. It didn't like presentation mode. I apologize. Give me 1 minute. Let's try that again. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
It's not allowing me to do it in presentation mode, so I'm happy to scroll through or add you as the co-host if you want to try and share screen.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay.
From my side here.
Again, thank you all for joining us while we work through our technical difficulties. What's a Zoom call without a frozen screen?
Give me 1 second here. I have it ready here.
Perfect.
Okay. Let me get this into, there we go. Are we visible there, Tiffany? Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sergio Piedra. I'm with Discover the Palm Beaches. And I'm going to take a quick like a review of what's happening on the tourism side county-wise and how it may affect Delray Beach. So what's happening right now? Okay, so what we've had, let me kind of, okay. where we've had, this is a lot of different numbers, and I apologize for that, but there's a reason for all this. I want you to look at kind of the goldish number for 2020. As you can see, this is countywide hotel occupancy by week since about August. You can see it's steadily been in the 40s, when normally in 2019 it was in the 60 to 70 and 80 range. But toward the end, you'll see that there was a kind of an increase from the high mid 40s up into the 50s. So it took us from August to December to finally hit that 50% occupancy mark. So we're very happy about that, and we're optimistic toward the future. Because, as you can see, South Palm Beach County, which is what we consider to be from Boynton Beach down to Boca, was steadily in the 30% range. And then in December, there was a spike from 47 and then 62%. Again, this is weekly numbers. So again, we ended the year very well. So we're very encouraged about that. Now, here's some other encouraging things. This is another kind of slide where there's a lot of different numbers. But the thing is that most people, this is from a group called Destinations Analysis, one of the best research companies out there for tourism. And they see a interest in taking leisure trips, increasing around May, June, July, August, the summer months. As you can normally say that those are kind of like, for us, that would be travelers from South Florida and within Florida, state residents. But you can see that that's when most people believe that the pandemic might be easing a bit. The vaccine has been rolled out and so forth. So there's encouraging numbers of people wanting to travel in the summer. Now, here's another one. And again, this is a lot of different numbers, but the top level numbers, things to think about. Florida is still on top of people's minds. You can see from millennials, Gen Xers, baby boomers, across the spectrum, that number one is Florida. So people are really interested in coming back to the Sunshine State. And then below, you can see that there's still, by region, you see people in the Midwest and people in the Northeast and in the South are all interested in Florida. Only the people in the far West want to look at other destinations. So again, this is reasons to be optimistic in 2021. So bringing back visitors. One of the things we did at the end of 2020, which was just a week ago, was that we created a very quick campaign that produced a very high impressionable numbers. This was through CARES Act money that we had to spend in 2020. So we did a campaign around November through December 31st, about a month. And it was digital displays. It was through our partnerships with Expedia and Kayak, paid social media, and out-of-home billboards. And the target markets were our traditional markets in the Northeast and Washington and Baltimore, but also we can't forget about our Florida residents who have kept us afloat over the last few months. Either way, it was about 177 million impressions or more than that number. So we're very happy with its results. I want to show you some examples of that campaign. First of all, it's built around a landing page. Again, it wasn't necessarily they had to travel within those 30 days, but we're promoting a winter escape. This is from about the time frame of now December, January, February, March into the spring. And we had a landing page for them, encouraging them to look at all of our different type of resorts, but also to remind them that safety is very important to us. And the Palm Beaches Pledge, which is something the Chamber endorsing, is part of that safety pledge. These are some of our digital displays that people saw. You can see, again, safety is part of that message. You'll see people with the covered faces, whether they're outside or inside, but not forgetting that we are an eco paradise, but also a beach destination, trying to get all those things in there. People want to spend time outdoors or at the beach. And then also, we had some creative ads through our social media, through Instagram and so forth. You can again see it's a mixture of outdoor activities and also reminding people to wear a mask, whether you're indoors or outdoors. Again, that safety message really resonates with people at this point. And here's some examples of some of our out-of-home creative, whether it was a billboard. You can see in Philadelphia, right above that building, and then in New Jersey, out there in the snow and really ugly looking trees, you see a bit of paradise. And in New York, again, you'll see some snowfall out there, and there's our picture of the beach. And these billboards, I actually know, went from the Northeast corridor, from like Baltimore all the way up to Boston. And this is other pictures of our out of home, again, promoting the beach and outdoors, where people want to be. This is Baltimore, Washington, and Boston. And so a couple last things. Again, if there's a call to action, I would encourage everyone to, whether you have a business, take the Palm Beaches Pledge. Again, it's very simple. Just promise to mask up, keep your business up to CDC standards in cleanliness, and that's really it. And continue to see tourism as an economic driver. Roundtables like this promote that fact, and it is. And as always, Florida residents have been great for us the last few months. So take a staycation or invite your friends and family. And if you want to become a partner of Discover the Palm Beaches, just let me know, and we can definitely work on that for you. So it's been good to be with you this morning. This is my contact information. Contact me for anything you might need, or if you have further questions. And also a couple things to look forward to, maybe at the next roundtable we can go over this, is that we will be refreshing our brand with a new campaign in 2021. Can't show you that just yet, but when the time is ready, I'll be happy to share that with everyone. And let me stop sharing my screen. And
thank you so much, Sergio. Some really great information. I like seeing the curve go up, and I'm glad that we were finally up in the 60s. To say that is really, it's a good outlook, especially for this year. So thank you for sharing those numbers and doing the comparison with last year. We appreciate that. I was very fortunate to be on the MAC committee for Discover the Palm Beaches. So I've gotten that sneak peek of the new branding. Guys, you're going to be so excited. I can't wait to invite Sergio back to share all of that with you. It's going to all good things ahead. So I'm super, super excited about that. Does anyone have any questions for Sergio while we have him on the call? Feel free to.
This is Sean. I've got a question for him.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Being in the digital media and digital advertising like I am, I've always been wondered with billboards, how we can track their effectiveness as far as, is there any way to really look at the results and say it's because of that billboard or this billboard, or be able to monitor the successes and failures of different billboards in different locations as far as from an analytical standpoint?
I think when it comes to billboards, it's almost like a twofold thing. Is that we can obviously put them up on major highways, and we've done that over the last few years, like in Orlando, take for instance, where we kind of saturated major highways of our billboards. And then we saw through our research that there was an increase in the amount of travel from Orlando. Now, is that all because of billboards? We want to say yes, but there's a room there to argue that isn't quite it. But we know that people do look up. Now, is digital advertising a better way to go? In many ways, yes. And that's why quite a bit of our money is toward digital advertising. But sometimes those traditional vehicles do make a difference. Like I said, I think the Orlando example is the best way to put it, where we really, in the summer, have saturated the expressways in and around Orlando and major throughways with billboards, and then seeing a major increase in travel from there. So I don't know if that answered your question completely.
Yeah, One of the other, I guess the secondary question is that with these billboards, do you typically put up like a call to action, like a this URL or go to this website or take this action to help kind of spur some of those analytical, reporting and successes, or is it just kind of a blanket come to the Palm Beaches?
I think most of the time we try to at least include our website at the very least. Now, there might be a different call to action if we have billboards in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, where we just put on there the Palm Beaches and people kind of know what we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, let me clean up this area a little bit.
And just to finish that thought, it's just if it's somewhere further out of home, out of the state, we try to put on the website there. We try to put as few words as possible. I think the going rule of thumb is 7 words or less.
Yep. No, I just wanted to, I didn't see in those pictures where I had that, but yeah, that makes total sense just because it's such a huge opportunity to pull those eyeballs that are looking up onto, digital platforms where you can then retarget them and do other forms of advertising. I think it's just a valuable opportunity.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Sergio. Any other questions for Sergio while we have him on the call? Don't be shy. Okay. With that, I am going to say thank you. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you for being such a great partner of the Delray Chamber. We really appreciate all you do for the county and for Delray Beach. So thank you for joining us this morning. And I am going to turn this over to Dr. Peter Ritchie from FAU Hospitality and Tourism Management Program.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us. My portion will be very brief. Tiffany asked for kind of an update, so I figured I'd talk about what's going on in the world of hospitality education. Right now, across the country, what we're hearing is a decline in enrollments, kind of a fear of the industry. And we're hoping, like Sergio and Tarek, that the sooner the vaccine spreads, the better, and the shorter term this will be. So one promising side on our end is I maintain an email listserv of job postings, and I have done that for about 10 or 15 years. And we have, on average, about 900 employers participating in that. And of course, for the past 6 months, the number of postings, it literally went to 0 for about 4 months. There was nothing. Then we got a trickle every week. And then lately we're getting about 30 to 60 a week again. So we're slowly on the upturn. Some schools have told me they're down about 50% in enrollments. Other schools told me they had a slight bump. So there's really nowhere to tell. We are still doing our massive certificate program. We have about 1,500 in it now. We have another 400 or 500 set up for March. If any of you have colleagues that want to take that, we have donations. So the rate is $199, but we have donations that are giving them $50 scholarships, and we'll keep using those till they're exhausted. So for $149, it's probably the best course you could ever take, and it's all thanks to donations. We were able to lower the cost in the beginning, and then we were able to give scholarships on top of it. So that's been a promising journey. We have about 165 countries participating. And what's really nice to hear is how other places around the globe are improving tourism at different paces. I think, like Sergio said, I think Florida will have an edge because California is having a much more difficult time with the virus. So the sooner we can get our name out there, the better we'll do. And, Disney, for example, I have been posting jobs for a company that owns the Courtyard across the street from Disneyland, and Disneyland is still closed and that Courtyard is still closed, but all of their Florida operations are open. Their restaurants, their hotels, etc. And, again, to piggyback on what Sergio said, the numbers are promising because I think American Hotel Lodging Association has always had a 65 to 70% occupancy rate for hotels to break even. And of course, that's quite variable depending on their debt load, depending on their service level. But if we're getting into the 60s, that's very promising. So, I can't really give more than that. It's kind of intriguing. We have some parents that have told us they want their kids to get into hospitality because by the time they graduate, we'll be booming again. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And then we have a lot of people shying away from hospitality because of their experience during the pandemic. Either they felt that their companies furloughed them way too quickly and didn't take care of them after their many years of service, or that they don't think we're going to bounce back fast enough, or whatever. So I remain cautiously optimistic. And, the job posting numbers are really, to me, the economic indicator that we're slowly coming back to life. Many companies in the past month have started posting positions and they've been absent for the whole year. So that's truly promising. I would say this is a great time to continue your education. Most universities and colleges and two-year state colleges, everybody's trying to do the best offers they can while people are in the online hybrid world. We started this semester this past Saturday, and we have partially face-to-face, and we're starting to rebound just like the rest of the world. But if any of you, I'm going to put my email in the chat. It's hospitality@fau.edu. If any of you has anyone that you'd like to have go through the certificate, or you'd like to go through yourself, let me know and I'll make sure we get you some scholarship dollars to offset the course. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, to the point now we'll probably build one every other year. It's to keep it fresh. But we're just over 82,000 that have gone through it. And it just shows that everybody loves the business and they're using this time to stay engaged. So if I can help in any way, just let me know. And if you have any questions, I appreciate it. Kathy, I saw your note. Thank you so much. We do post jobs for free. So all you have to do is email me and I'll get you in my cycle. I take that on myself as a personal duty. And I'm always kind of shocked that a lot of employers don't post with us. It just, it's kind of shocking. It costs nothing. So you might as well post. Any questions for my end? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Peter, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us this morning.
Sure.
Those of you who don't know, I graduated under Dr. Ritchie at FAU Hospitality and Tourism. So tourism has a very strong place in my heart. And then I worked on cruise ships for a few years. So this is full circle for me. Nick, I saw your comment about, I don't know if you had any questions, but about how you guys are out and the hotels seem to be coming back. And it's so nice to see in the comparison in Orlando, because you guys are based in Orlando. I don't know if you wanted to talk on that at all or had any questions for Peter.
Yeah, Peter, Orlando, we live up here. We own Explore Palm Beach Magazine. So we're in all the hotels from Jupiter to Cuesta all the way to Pompano. And the biggest thing that we're seeing is Palm Beach is so different than Orlando. And I live up here and I consult for attractions up here besides consulting for like Lion Country. And we had like the week before Thanksgiving, the Renaissance by SeaWorld was at 3%. 3. I cannot believe how much better the county is doing. And I'm not saying it's doing great, but it is doing a lot better than Orlando right now. They're struggling.
Peter, you're muted.
All right. It's not convention or conference driven. And we're seeing that all around the country. Atlanta is struggling terribly. Chicago is struggling terribly. The leisure destinations like Palm Beach County are doing better. Now, South County is doing better because Boca Resort closed their meeting space. So
Right.
they're just existing on leisure travel right now. But Swan and Dolphin, I forget what they told me last week, how many millions they're down in group bookings. It's a convention market, so it will take that much longer for Orlando to recover. And we're seeing pockets of that here and there and everywhere.
Thank you. I mean, hopefully it'll come back, and it'll come back strong, but it's going to take a while for sure. So I was in Orlando over the weekend, and we drove through the convention area and drove down I-Drive, and I was shocked at how dead it was. It was a Monday afternoon, but still I was like, this is normally booming, especially in January. So it's very interesting to see the difference between driving down I-Drive and driving down Atlantic Avenue. So thank you both for all of that. Any additional questions for Peter? I highly, highly recommend taking advantage of the free job postings if and when you guys do have openings. He has a great list of very qualified humans that are ready to work. And with that, I am going to turn our presentation over to Jody Cross from the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association. Let me go ahead and make you a co-host.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Can you see my screen at this point? Let's see.
Yes, we can. Yay.
You can. Okay, good. Perfect. So yeah, happy 2021, everybody. Yes, we are excited to see 2020 in the rearview mirror. I wanted to start out with, for those of you that aren't familiar, I've done a couple of these, but maybe you weren't on the phone, but Florida Restaurant Lodging is a state association with over 10,000 members, hotels, restaurants, resorts, suppliers, theme parks, etc. And what we do is we protect, promote, and advocate for the industry. Some of the highlights that we've done for the pandemic include alcohol to go, crafting language that could be included in the CARES Act to represent restaurants and hotels, the removal of the double negative COVID tests so that people weren't sitting out for 14 days plus waiting to go back to work and on the payroll. And then our seal of commitment for industry confidence and sanitation. So I'll speak about that a little bit more, but similar to what Sergio said about the post for the Palm Beaches, we have one for the restaurants and hospitality industry. In Palm Beach County, we have 2,462 restaurants and 148 hotels. And to Peter's point, a lot of those are leisure business as well. But 4 out of 10 restaurants have basically projected to close for good. I think you can all think of some in your neighborhood, and there's several in Delray Beach. Similarly, there's a lot of hotels that we project will go into foreclosure or are in foreclosure. There's a lot of movement right now. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I've heard of a couple of hotels that are sold, buying and selling. The Diplomat was one as well. And as you know, a lot of them are undertaking some renovations. So Boca Resort, for one, laid off a lot of their people and is undergoing a 2-year renovation. They're taking this time now when they think the market is going to be soft for a while to really renovate their facilities and do that in a shutdown mode. So the percentage restaurant industry, there's some statistics that I just wanted to share with you as of the end of last year. What we see here is the lack of visitors is really impacting the restaurant business as well. And I'll segment restaurants and then I'll get into hotels a little bit. You've got the new strain of the virus, which is 50% more contagious. You've got basically a freeze on anybody coming in from England and Ireland at this point. And, European flights are very limited as well. And then you've got the issue of the 14-day quarantine. So although we don't have a 14-day quarantine here, I just went up to New York for the holidays, and you've got a quarantine when you go up there. So when travelers from New York, which is one of our biggest market segments, come down here, they can't really go back home. So a lot of people are opting, possibly not to come just because something just fell. I'm good. I'm okay. Opting not to come because the fact that they have to quarantine for 14 days when they get back. So there's some challenges with that. So as you can see here in the restaurant segment, there's a real down percentage to what people are doing as far as coming and then, conversely dining out. So the restaurants are being impacted a great deal too. 41% in fine dining. So you think about all those people that stay in a hotel and then they go out to dinner. That's just not happening at this point because the hotels are kind of not full. This is some employment numbers for the restaurant hospitality industry as well. Florida is in yellow at this point and down 10% to 19% in that quadrant. It's about 12% from what I'm hearing. There's been some rehiring. There's been some uptick in that in anticipation of season, and the fact that our restrictions, thank goodness for our governor, have not been as extreme as states like New York and California and Pennsylvania. But we're still seeing some trickling unemployment numbers. And predictions for 2021. All segments are suffering, really. Air travel is down about 60% in the fourth quarter of last year. Average rate is down, occupancy also down. And so there's a little hope on the horizon with the second round of fundings that just came through, and I'll talk about some of the key issues on that in just a second. This is some data that I pulled from STAR that shows that new bookings in January are down 43% as of the 4th of January. So we still got some ways to go. Fears of travel, again, the quarantining issue, the New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts all have quarantine rules. And that is, we are a very Northeast driven market segment here. So that's some key issues with that. And then also, we just don't have the group business, and the group business really drives occupancy. This is, again, the most recent STAR data and information showing end of 2021 as the recapture point for about 80% of demand. So in third quarter, we see some good uptick here, but we're still down 34% on RevPAR. And then as we move through the year and the vaccines roll out and everybody starts to get more comfortable with travel, we'll see an uptick again, but they're not really projecting the meeting business until Q3, Q4 to even come back. And that's going to be a huge piece of the recovery that we need. Think about the convention center and things like that. But there is pent-up demand. A lot of people I know put off weddings and even social gatherings, so that there's a lot of pent-up demand for that. This is a recent statistics from Visit Florida, and it's good to see that the restaurants are faring a little bit better here. When you look at this, you can see that between 22 and 20% people are comfortable dining out. So that's good news. How are they feeling regarding staying? 47% say, 16 now, 14 in 30 days, 17% in 2 to 3 months. So that equals about 47%. So we'll see that slowly climbing back. Thus, we're into second quarter and third quarter at that point. And then this is the state by state breakdown of some of the foreclosures and the job loss that we're seeing as well. So about 3,861 hotels have closed in Florida. Whether they reopen or not, that's a question. Some have reopened, some have set with, like Four Seasons is a good example of that. They had their owner group in and they still haven't reopened to the public, and it's just the owner group using that space for meetings and as an office, basically. About 1,892 foreclosures and an estimated 2,587 without funding coming. So we did get that funding, and hopefully people can take advantage of that. What are some key trends that we're seeing in 2021? Obviously, sanitation and cleanliness. There's our seal of commitment right there. You can go online. That's for our members and non-members, and it is a accelerated, like think of Good Housekeeping seal of commitment. It's an accelerated cleaning sanitation program. There's a class involved, and it's hand in hand with Safe Serve for any of you that are in the hospitality business. But what people are saying is they want greater transparency. They feel like if you're applying the rules and making your place as clean as possible. In fact, I saw something with the casino that was opening, and they put everybody in a yellow shirt, which I thought was a great idea. So the entire cleaning crew is in a bright yellow shirt, and they're walking around cleaning, so you can't miss them. I think that was a really good idea. Locally produced products, the use of outdoor spaces is crucially important, and we're really blessed here in Florida to have a lot of outdoor spaces and be able to make those flexible. So great, great for us as well. The creative, authentic experiences that people want to do here. And I have heard some complaints about, because some of the hotels are on limited service, or because of the COVID, they don't allow a certain amount of people in the restaurants, that people feel like they shouldn't have to pay full price. And a lot of the front desk people are getting kind of hurt by that a little bit in terms of the pressure from the guests. So I guess take a breath, everybody, take a staycation, support your local restaurants, your local hotels, and just be considerate that they can't put the buffet out. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. So we're all going to have to adjust to that. Technology is huge. You've all probably been out to dinner and seen the QR codes on everything, and the touchless systems. That's going to bleed over into the meetings business as well. The value consumer revolution, that's all about transparency. So because we've now gone with no cancellation fees and a lot of different things just to encourage people to travel again, people are going to be expecting that. They want that value, and they want to know that, they can get a refund, or they aren't going to be charged for a cancellation. Sustainability is huge as well. The repurposing of hotel spaces, that one, like the Four Seasons, like I mentioned, they're turning that into their basically an office. A group from New York just moved in and they made that their office, and they're using that space as, and which makes Wi-Fi, super fast Wi-Fi, very important. And you'll hear a lot about that too, the technology piece of it. And then the drive travel trend. Everybody's a little leery about getting into a plane right now. So if there's a drive market close by, and that's why we've seen a boom in the Panhandle hotels too, because I think a lot of people are driving from Texas and just looking for a place to get away. And that drive market has become crucially important for our industry. So as we look forward into 2021, these are some of our legislative agenda priorities that we're working on. Liability issues for COVID. That is a huge thing that's bubbling up right now. Both in the fact that people are just throwing lawsuits to and from, and we're working on liability protection for our restaurants for COVID, and also it has to do with the insurance issues. Next, we have vacation rentals. We just want to make sure everyone's on an even playing field. I know our tax collector, Ann Gammon, has done a great job at just trying to make sure and get that all in an orderly fashion, but an even playing field, bed tax, sanitation, things like that. We are working on codifying alcohol to go. Alcohol to go was a lifeline for a lot of our restaurants during the pandemic. And we think that that's a good idea to just keep moving forward. There were no issues with it. People were able to deliver alcohol with your meal. And so why not keep it, and why not keep that cash flow going, because the restaurants really need it at this point. Which leads into increased licensure opportunities for hospitality businesses. And that has to do with some of the restrictions that require new businesses to get their liquor license. So we're sort of focusing on, the square footage and the seating restrictions, and trying to minimize some of those, so it's a little bit easier for people to get their liquor license. Cooperative advertising. We support the manufacturers and the alcohol manufacturers to be permitted to advertise special events. They get behind a lot of our special events like Sunfest, and so we want them to be able to support that and be able to bring positive impact to the county and to the state. The protection of our tourist tax dollars. We believe that that is really for funding and marketing to Florida, to market Florida, the state. It shouldn't be for sewers, and it shouldn't be for streets and road work. So we want to keep that as pure as possible. Increased funding for Visit Florida. This is our every year thing. We really want it. It's more important than ever now that we do visitation for the state, and we get our name out there, as Sergio said, that we get as much publicity and advertising as we can. So we support Visit Florida for that. Taxation, property tax relief for tourism dependent businesses that are struggling. A lot of them, the tax situation, when the dust settles, we'll see, who's standing, who's in foreclosure, and we know that there's going to be a big tax burden on those that are left. And tax credits for hiring and for new personnel also can be provided in financial initiatives. And then Main Street funding. We want to bring business back to the downtown commercial corridors, and we want those areas to be thriving hubs of tourism and restaurants and everything that they're meant to be. So Delray is a good example of that as well. So those are some of the things that are on our 2021 legislative agenda. We're going to have a tourist day on the 20th, and we'll be talking to some of our legislators about that. And then just kind of to wrap up, the second draw of the loan came through, and these are some of the parameters for the Restaurant Recovery and Relief Act. And it also applies to hotels that businesses can take 25% loss in revenue compared to last year. And then both the maximum loan amount and the payroll amount used to calculate the loan. Hotels are now eligible for 3.5 times their monthly payroll, up to $2 million. So those are some of the new changes. There's a couple of webinars that we're doing this week on that, so we can unpack the rest of what's in there fully. I have not been able to sit in on one of those yet with the holidays, but I plan to do that this week. And that's kind of what that's about. So thank you for having me today. Happy New Year. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And also, to Peter's point on education, we are doing our fundraiser on the 20th and 21st. We support all the magnet schools locally, the 18 magnet schools in Palm Beach County. And there's a couple of South End restaurants that are in there, Rocco's Tacos in Boca, the Sunday House, that are participating. I can send that to Tiffany after, but basically you pick up a meal for two. It's dinner for two. And it's a takeout, and you take it home, and the restaurants are helping us with that. So if you can participate, I would love to have you guys participate.
Jody, thank you so much for all of that information. We really appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions while we have Jody on the call right now? It's very quiet this morning. Is everyone awake? Has everyone had their coffee? Some great information. I will include the fundraiser in my recap that I send out to everyone. So thank you, Jody Cross from FRLA, Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association. We really appreciate your time this morning. If you guys do have any questions, I will include all of our speakers' information in my recap note to you later today. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the call over to Chris Bell, our emergency manager for the city of Delray Beach. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Thanks for having me on the call. Tiffany mentioned that you'd like me to maybe talk a little bit about where we are currently with just COVID and our new cases and hospitalizations and such, and then we can talk certainly about the vaccine and what that looks like as far as what we know right now. New cases are at a record pace. We've been setting records for the last week, almost every day. We surpassed our previous peaks of last August, July and August, right before the first of the year. And hospitalizations are increasing as well. So hospitalizations have yet to reach the rate they were in July or August, but those are usually a trailing indicator a couple weeks after new cases occur. Given the kind of the rapid fire of the holidays back to back with kind of Thanksgiving, the December holidays leading into New Year's, we think that the cases are just going to continue to rise, hospitalizations as well. Hopefully we can all keep ahead of those for the coming months. Happily, thankfully, deaths have not yet reached the levels that they had earlier in last year. We're hoping that that's not the case. The numbers, the age of the patients who are being both diagnosed and admitted to the hospital are almost identical as a whole to what they were earlier last year. So unfortunately, that's likely to be an outcome. But right now, we're still focused on trying to encourage everybody to do the things that will minimize the outbreak and decrease the cases and help us turn the curve back down. I wish there were more encouraging news for that. So let's move quickly on to the vaccine and what ultimately I think will get us out of this. Vaccine rollout has been slow and stilted, I think, to make it an understatement even. The state as a whole right now gets about 250,000 doses of vaccine per week. So there's 21.5 million people, about 500,000 people in Florida have received the vaccine so far. So it'll take at this pace another 78 weeks for everybody to get a first dose of the vaccine. We understand that the manufacturers have not been increasing production as rapidly as they had forecast to increase production. So while we hope there's going to be a slow initial rollout in December and January, and it would rapidly increase. So far, that hasn't materialized, but we're all hopeful for that. The governor's order limited vaccine distribution to medical frontline healthcare workers. Healthcare providers such as hospitals are allowed to also include patients who are under 65 who have specific medical conditions who put them at high risk. And then anyone who's 65 years of age or older is able to get a vaccine or is able to at least try to get a vaccine. We at Delray Beach Fire Rescue and City of Delray Beach have been for months trying to get ready and ask and get in line essentially with the Department of Health to be a pod, a place where we could actually provide the vaccine to our residents and visitors and staff and everything. Because of supply issues, they had told us that was impossible. There, apparently, because of what town of Palm Beach ended up having happen, potentially we'll be able to do that. But this all is contingent on the state and then the county receiving an increased supply of vaccine. For state numbers, I mentioned 250,000 doses a week. Right now, Palm Beach County is getting 4,500 doses of vaccine per week. And 1.5 million people, 400,000 of those people in Palm Beach County are 65 or older. And the only vaccines that are currently FDA approved are both 2-shot vaccines. So of that 4,500 doses that come in every week, half of them are for new first doses, and then the other half are really just giving second doses to people who had already received it in the past. So right now we have a huge supply chain issue, and that's really what this comes down to. If numbers continue at the current rate, yeah, it's going to be well into the end of the year before we really have a sufficient number of people, both 65 and older and of the general population, are vaccinated to provide that, not really herd immunity, but enough so that we won't worry about large outbreaks. We won't worry about hospitals being full or anything anymore because so many people will be vaccinated. So we really need the manufacturers to increase. We need the supply to coming into the state to increase, and then we're ready to administer it. Our department, as well as the other fire departments in the county, have all set up to, we would be willing to run pods immediately, essentially. I mean, within about 2 days notice, we can set up a pod and start vaccinating people. We've got all the plans ready. We're ready to go as soon as the county receives vaccine. So that's kind of where we lay. I don't want to belabor any of these points, so I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you, Chris. Does anybody have any questions for Chris? No question. Wow. I think we got to start delivering coffee before our meeting stuff. What do you think?
So I have a quick question for you, Chris. When you talk about the amount of doses that are available and are sent to, say, Palm Beach gets 4,500 in a week, is that just for the city and county organizations, or does that include local doctors? So if you have a local GP, are you able to get something from them?
Ultimately and eventually, yes, but currently no GPs, no general practitioners, no regular doctors' offices that we know of are getting vaccine, because the Department of Health is actually who is the gatekeeper for that 4,500 doses that come in. And they so far have only been able to send them to hospitals and to first response agencies who are frontline medical, because there's no more left over to go out. Ultimately, that's our hope, is we'll be running vaccine clinics where anybody can come and get it. And then when the supply increases even more and everyone's doctor's office and everyone's pharmacy has this, then there won't be a need for that. And then that's where we'll kind of get to that tipping point, I think, where one, we won't need to provide that kind of thing, and we'll have enough people pretty quickly vaccinated at that point. Everybody who was going to get it at that point will have access. But right now, no, you can't go to your doctor and get it because they can't get it from the health department. They are screaming as loudly as the cities and municipalities are at the county to try to get the vaccine.
I bet. So what are the city's plans in terms of any type of rollout? You said the fire department can run pods. How does that work?
Yeah, we would run pods where again, right now, the governor's order limits distribution to 65 and older. So right now, our plan would be we would run people through drive-through vaccination clinics, essentially. We call it a pod. It's a point of dispensing. It's a drive-through vaccination clinic where we could put through several hundred people a day, probably 6 or 7 days a week, until we can do that. All the other fire departments in the county can do that. The county will be setting up large, kind of like at the ball field type, same thing, mass vaccination sites as soon as the vaccine becomes available. So that'll be our first one. And then as soon as the governor's order changes and allows under 65 or some other subset of people to get it, then we'll likely continue to do that kind of clinic right here in Delray Beach.
That's excellent to know. We have such a great first responders team in the city, and you're a part of that. So I appreciate that. And I know you're on it. So we'll just wait for the vaccine, but then you'll be able to get it out.
Yeah, unfortunately. Right.
Any other questions for Chris while we have him on the call, guys? Some really, really great information. We really appreciate your time this morning, Chris.
Sure. Anytime.
Thank you. With that, if we want to just go around the room or around the virtual room quickly, name and company and any quick 30-second update that you might have. And that should get us done by 11:30, I think, if I did my math correctly. If you have to hop off, please leave your information in the chat and look for my emails regarding upcoming events and the next Tourism Roundtable. Let's start with Danielle. She is right next to me. How's that?
Hi, everyone. Danielle from Men in Development. I don't really have, and Click Hospitality, don't really have too much to update you guys with today, but it was great hearing from everyone, and I'll see you next week.
Food hall coming.
Yep, the food hall is coming. Winter is coming.
Okay.
Food hall and the Ray Hotel, correct?
Yeah, the food hall, the Ray Hotel. And we just got approved for the Linton Apartments over on Linton.
Those are all huge things. So thank you for your mini update and thank you for joining us. Steve Lample, you are next on my list.
To these meetings, but I found it extremely informative and learned a lot.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gus from Freebie, you're up next.
Hello, happy New Year, everybody. Good to be here. Thanks for having me. Gus Doyle, Business Development Executive with Freebie of South Florida. We specialize in connecting residents and visitors to supporting local businesses. We're really excited. We've been with the great city of Delray Beach for a little over a year now, in which people can download our Ride Freebie mobile app and ride for free to all of your favorite local attractions. So we're really excited to be here. Delray Beach is our 22nd municipality in which we have services operating within. So we're really excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Gus, can I ask you a quick question? I know you guys, as you mentioned, you're in 23 cities. How has ridership been? Can you pull a report where you could compare ridership in Delray Beach to, say, I think you guys operate in a few different cities down in Miami. Is that correct?
We do. We operate in Miami Beach, downtown Miami, Coral Gables, Key Biscayne, Coconut Grove. We just launched last summer our first free on-demand on-campus transportation service at FIU, so students can and staff members can ride for free. But I'll tell you that Delray Beach has been very, very active, and it's been fantastic. We, obviously the transportation component of our business platform is to give the free rides, but our economic development platform is to support local businesses. So we really have been trying to drive people literally to all of your favorite local restaurants, to and from hotels, to all the various attractions within the greatest city. So we're really excited about that. One thing that we've done in terms of the pandemic and pivoting is we have offered free deliveries to restaurants, because a lot of you know that restaurants have been getting hit pretty hard with that 40% delivery tax that like Grubhub will impose. So we've been doing free delivery services in Miami Beach. We've been driving senior citizens to and from the senior care centers to get all of their essentials and such. And now we're entering into the vaccination phase of that plan, of where we're going to be driving senior citizens to and from to get their vaccination. So we're really excited that we're able to provide our services on a number of different platforms. So thank you.
So great to hear. Thank you for all that you guys are
Put
doing.
my information in the chat as well if anybody has any questions or wants to talk about how great you guys are and how great we are as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gus. We love Freebie. So thank you. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are great partners of ours. So we appreciate you and very lucky to have you guys in Delray Beach. I'm going to skip over. I'm going to go to Nick with Explore Palm Beach. Oh, I muted you accidentally. Sorry. Nick, I muted you. Sorry.
I think I'm better, right? Okay. Hi, Nick Romeo. I'm the publisher and owner of Explore Palm Beach magazine and Double T Multimedia. We are, this coming year, 2021, we're celebrating our 13th year publishing in Palm Beach County. So we're very proud to say that we've stood strong and still surviving through this pandemic. Also, we are now part owners of a new travel app called Getting Local, which is really a huge benefit for the hotels. I'm going to send Tiffany some information on that. And it's a partnership with our magazine. And if you're distributing our magazine at your hotels, I have some free stuff for you guys with getting into the magazine and working with the app. But yeah, I put my information on the chat room. So if anyone's looking for anything, but great presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's always great to hear from you because you guys are all over Palm Beach County and into Broward, and you live up in Orlando. So hearing the different comparisons is really great. So thank you for joining us today. I'm going to go to Jessica Gonzalez from the Seagate. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you and good morning. So my name's Jessica Gonzalez. I'm the Director of Marketing at the Seagate, and it was great hearing from the industry updates just across the board. At the Seagate, we're just ramping up for our multi-phase renovations starting in June with our guest rooms and beach club. In the near future, we're also working on just revamping in the interim, revamping our food and beverage offerings at Atlantic Grill, the hotel restaurant. So just more to come on that.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to go to Phil DiCarlo.
Good morning, everyone. Phil DiCarlo, I'm the associate broker at Posh Properties. We're here local, right across the street from the Chamber in Delray Beach. And I heard a little bit about New York today. There were a couple of pictures. I'm a recent transplant from New York. I'm happy to be down here in Florida. Although the weather in the last few weeks, I got to tell you, it's not been very welcoming, but I'm hoping it's going to get better. I almost didn't join this meeting today because I had a little bit of a conflict. I'm so glad that I did. I really enjoyed listening to all of the speakers and the information about, the locale and everything that's going on, with restaurants and hotels and things of that nature. So I do hope for the cruise industry that you guys do come back. And I'm going to be reaching out to some of you folks that presented today privately because you piqued my interest and my brain on some things, and love to hear more about what you do and also see what I can bring to the table. So glad to be a part of the chamber as well. And also I'm part of the leadership group that's going to be starting in a couple of weeks. So very excited to hear about that too. So I hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of today.
Thanks, Phil. We appreciate that. Jessica actually will be in your class as well. And if anybody else would like to join them, please reach out to me. We are finalizing our Leadership Delray class. So you guys have a great class. I'm really looking forward to your year.
Absolutely. Thank you.
With that, Allie or Keely, are you guys on the call from Hyatt Place? I see they're listening in. Nope. All right. Who would like to go next? I'm sorry, I can't read your name. Is it Aja Jabor?
Yeah, that's me. Hi, my name is Aji Jabbour. I'm sorry they did not put my full name there, but I'm the general manager of the Love Delray Beach. I was very impressed, and for all the people who made the presentation today, a lot of information that would be a great help for me. I'm going to share it with our executive team in New York. I know some of my team members are on the call as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy new year. I know we're going to kill that COVID-19 very soon, and we're going to go back to normal times. All the best to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've been very lucky to partner with the Aloft over the past year. You guys just had your anniversary of being open for a year, right? In the fall.
That's correct.
Really, really looking forward to the year ahead and more partnerships with you guys. If you don't know, they have a beautiful meeting space, socially distanced. You have about 300 in that space. Is that correct?
That's correct. Close to 10,000 square feet for meeting and banquets.
So if you've not been over to the Aloft, I highly recommend heading over there and seeing their space. Same with the Seagate. I'm sure Jessica would be happy to show you guys around there as well for those that are on the call and have not been out and about. Jeff Dash, I see your name on there. Would you like to chime in? There you are.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Dash. I'm Dash Travel and Delray Beach Experience, which is our digital guide to Delray Beach and beyond. So if you haven't downloaded it, definitely download it. Supporting local businesses and nonprofits. Thanks again. Have a great day.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Anyone that has their video off, if you'd like to chime in and just say who you are. Amanda, I see that you're listening in. She is our downtown manager. Chris gave an amazing update, but I don't know if you wanted to give a quick update from Clean and Safe.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for actually hosting this roundtable, because it was a first for me also to get a little bit more information about what's going on in the tourism industry. So I'm happy to know that Florida seems to be doing much better than many other parts of the country, and Palm Beach specifically, because you know how we all love Delray. So I'm happy to hear that we're doing much better than some other places in the country. As far as the downtown, we're just, business as usual for us. As far as we're concerned, it's a season. So we're doing the best that we can to make sure we have the most clean and inviting and attractive downtown for everybody who does decide to come. And just a reminder to everybody, including any of the businesses that are listening, to make sure that we're all playing it safe and following those current COVID rules that are in place. And if anybody ever has any questions from a code perspective, I know Chris is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the COVID information, but as your code enforcement team, we're also here to help in any way that we can.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for that reminder. I'll also include Amanda's information in our recap that I send, and then that way, if you do have any questions regarding code and what the rules and regulations are, you can just direct line to Amanda. She's always super responsive, so we love when Amanda joins our calls. Thank you. Keely or Allie, are you guys on the call? Nope. All right. So with that, I'm going to say, oh, hi, Tessa.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I apologize if there's a lot of wind. I am driving. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're perfect.
All right, perfect. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Tessa Hodge. I'm the area director of sales for Coastal Hospitality based out of Delray. I oversee the new courtyard as well as the Hyatt Place Delray Beach. So one of the things that I actually wanted to point out today is that both hotels have actually, we particularly at the courtyard have partnered with dayuse.com as well as hotelsbyday.com. And that just gives you guys the opportunity or anyone the opportunity, if you're tired of working from your house, you can actually rent our hotel rooms by the day for a few hours, either from like 7 to 10 or 7 to 7. And then it's highly discounted in comparison to our rates. And then you get access to all of the amenities. So we just wanted to point that out. I know Hyatt is doing a particular similar program through Hyatt.com themselves. So they have that opportunity at that hotel also. We both have bars at the hotels that are open to the locals, and at the courtyard in particular, we have our rooftop bar. So I know everyone wants to get outdoor. So we just invite you guys to come check us out, and we have great happy hour every day and the best sunset in Delray Beach.
Tessa, thank you so much for that update. If you could send me the information on that, I would love to include that in our recap as well. And I might have to come work from the courtyard so I can take advantage of the rooftop pool as well. And you guys just recently celebrated your 1-year anniversary as well. So congratulations to the Courtyard by Marriott as well. And Hyatt has been how long now?
They opened, 2021 will be their 9 years, surprisingly enough. I can't believe it, but yeah, 9 years this August.
So thank you to Tessa and to her team as well. They're great partners of ours. We're very thankful to have you guys in Delray Beach, and we're so happy that Coulter decided to move their headquarters right across the street from the chamber. So you're just a stone's throw away. We love having you guys. What a great opportunity for those of us that are not working in the office and would like to work from either the Hyatt or Courtyard. Awesome. So thanks for joining us. Anybody else want to chime in? Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. Oh, Kathy, are you on? You want to give us a quick update from Cranes?
Hey, Tiffany. I don't really have an update. I mean, we've been doing really well. I'm thankful for the chamber for doing this. Honestly, it's really great info. So I think all the hotels need to hear this and just, continue doing what you're all doing. I thank you for it. So thank you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. So with that, I just want to say thank you to all of you for kicking off your morning with us. Thank you to our presenters, and thank you to Tarek with Hotels at Sea for sponsoring our roundtable. We're so thankful to have you as a partner in Delray Beach. Really happy to get that you're here and you chose Delray as your home base as well. I did record this session, so we will be posting that later today. Again, if you have any questions, we're just an email away. Just let us know. Stephanie, did you want to say bye to the group?
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And if you want to recap everything again, we're going to be playing it at the Lunch and Learn at 12:30, and they'll be on the website. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tarek. I saw your dog.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.